On this episode of Kart Crazy, we're going to tear into this 2012 Club Car Precedent and see if we can flip it for a profit. I'm Jeff. Welcome to Kart Crazy. All right, well, here it is in all its glory. Sorry about the glare. Nice sunny day coming in the windows here. And this is a 2012 Club Car Precedent that I bought. I cannot even remember when. I think it was late summer. And the only thing we've done with this cart, if you've been following along, is we put these Kimimoto seat covers on, which look fantastic. And we also did an awesome battery upgrade with the Allied setup. That's all intact and ready to go, but not really in what I would call sellable condition. Got to do something with the body. The windshield's actually broke, and I don't care for the tan roofs. So I think we're going to kind of use some things that I've got laying around. That body, or this body, I should say, is from the Bandit series, if you watch that. Basically, I left this body for dead. I almost tossed it. I wasn't going to use it. I thought I would try my hand at polishing, and wow, I was pretty impressed with how that front nose piece turned out. So I'm going to do the same thing on this back. It does have some scratches that I don't think are going to come out, but I feel that it's going to look a lot better than this green body that's on it and just be a lot more sellable. I have a white roof from another project that I saved. I have a spare windshield upstairs. I have a spare light kit. The tires are okay-ish. They probably should be changed, and I may do that yet. The front ones are a lot better than the back. Somebody rotated them at one point, and you can see the backs are pretty bad. So we'll probably have to do tires, but literally the only thing I'm going to have to buy for this, I actually already ordered the floor mat and tires if we choose to do that. Everything else I'm just going to reuse from another project. So my thought was, why not go ahead and, just kind of spit shine this one real quick and try to turn and burn it, make a couple bucks on it, and make room for some other projects that we've got around the shop. So basically just going to peel the roof off, the windshield, and the body. I'll work on polishing that body up and basically just reassemble. So it's not really going to be a learning video per se, but more of, I guess learning in one aspect, learning how to make money at this. And if you're watching the channel to maybe, do this as a little side hobby, this might help you along. Now, you probably don't have all of this stuff laying around like I do, but if you go talk to your local dealer, they might have a body out back. I know my dealer had a stack of them at one point, and they were just going to toss them in the dumpster. They're not all that ugly tan color. There was some whites and some reds and some blues. They take them off and do body kits, and for whatever reason don't reuse them. So it might be advantageous for you to stop down to your local dealer, check that out. If you hunt around on Marketplace, you can find used windshields and things. So you don't have to buy everything brand new to make a cart look decent. I probably could just leave this windshield on here. I don't really care for this design, the way it's wrapped around. And like I said, it is actually broken. There's a big crack here, and I think it's broken on the other side as well. So that's the reason I'm going to change it, just because I have another one. Now, we could leave that on there and sell it, but because I have one, we'll go ahead and change that out. So let me just tear this down a little bit and may even give it a bath. We'll see how it goes. All right, in just maybe 20 or 30 minutes here, got it tore down to, as far as I'm going to take it. I did remove the battery and the charger and the floor mat, and just going to go give it a quick rinse off with the pressure washer, blast out some of this battery tray that I couldn't really get with the vacuum cleaner, and I may even hit this plastic. I don't know. I'm undecided on that. I might hit that with that trim and bumper paint. It's in really good shape, but maybe just brighten it up. Otherwise, I do have those wipes I can use, those Cerakote wipes. they work pretty good as well. So let me clean up my mess a little bit here, push it outside, and zap it quick with the pressure washer. Looking pretty good after a few minutes with the pressure washer. You can see the amount of dirt and debris that comes off of there. This cart is remarkably clean once you get past the cobwebs and the dust. Even the frame is looking really nice. Gonna make somebody a really nice cart. All right, so just trying to prep this body a little bit. Just took some of this Scratch X and my little electric buffer just to kind of see how that was going to work. Looks like it's turning out really good. So I'm going to go ahead and take my heat gun and get the rest of these stickers off of here and this pinstriping and work on polishing this up. You can see where it's kind of dull and scratched. Hopefully a lot of that will come out, and this body will look pretty good on this cart. I don't know if that contrast is showing up on the camera or not, but definitely making a big improvement here. So we'll keep working away on that and should be looking pretty spiffy. All right, just give you a little update here. Got that body probably pretty close to where it's going to be. There's going to be some touch up that I have to do. Polish that up as best I can on the table, flopping around. Once I get it on the cart, I'll hit some of the spots, that are probably going to be more obvious. I see, in fact, one right on the corner there. And then inside the battery tray, of course, it got kind of blasted when I hit it with the pressure washer. So I'm just going through with a microfiber and some spray away and just kind of wiping that out. Probably getting way too fussy, but that's how I roll. I see the bolts are rusty. If I've got new ones here, I might buzz those out and just put some fresh bolts in. Give that a good look. Floor mat, if it's not here already, it should be here today from Amazon. So we'll get the body set back on here and, like I said, work on that back seat kit, try to scrounge up the missing parts that I need for that, get the battery set back in here, and just kind of reassemble, I guess. All right, it's several days later, just getting back on this project. Did take it out and give it a quick pressure wash, as you saw. Did not take the body out there and rinse it off. I probably should have. Forgot how dirty that was. But I did start the polishing on this side. You can definitely see the difference between like here, which this is more of a porous. It's not smooth, so that'll be interesting getting that done. It's all scratched and beat up around the headlights, but thankfully the headlight's going to cover all of that. This side is even worse. And I think the headlight's probably going to come like right through there. So we're going to have to try to get those out as best we can. But the polishing seems to be working good. Get that all rinsed off pretty decent. The front end is going to need a little more touch-up work, probably by hand. It's got kind of a film on there that I got to maybe wipe off with a microfiber or something. Went and scrounged up the back seat kit. Don't have all the pieces, but I think I've got enough laying around we can make this work. I've actually got the seat. I've got new sidebars. This one was missing the sidebar. This one's bent, but I've got two brand new ones Didn't have the uprights for the roof, but I've got 2 brand new ones of those that I haven't used. I think for the back seat kit, we're going to need these brackets right here. I know for sure I have one. I hacked another one apart to use for a bracket on a different project. Probably shouldn't have done that because I could really use that other bracket right now. And then the seat platform I've got from another one that I saved. Like I said, I think I've got enough junk laying around here that we can put this thing together and make something out of it. So let me work on getting this all polished up, and then we'll tear into that back seat kit. All right, it's like a week later, and I'm back out in the shop. We're under like a winter weather advisory, and for those of you who live up north, I mean, they canceled school over that, so you probably get a chuckle out of that. But I left the other carts in here just because it is pretty cold and the wind is blowing. But I am going to try to get these tires and wheels popped off here. I'm going to put this up on jack stands and run down to the tire shop. They're going to swap these over. Found these bad boys on the internet. You're probably thinking, Jeff, what made you choose those over all the tires that are out there? Well, they're the cheapest and they had free shipping. So there's your answer on that. But I do want to try to get into, and like I said, I don't remember where we were. I just threw this top and stuff on here temporarily just to kind of see how it would look. I still plan on refurbishing this back seat. I've just kind of got it broke down. I've got some leftover new parts, and then I'm going to kind of salvage everything I can and keep from buying a new seat is what my end goal is there. So let me get these tires run down to the parts store and swap those around, and then we can tear into some of this other stuff. Okay, back at it. It's literally over a week later. No, it didn't take that long to get the tires done. I've just had some things going on here, and this is my first opportunity to get back on it. So, what has happened? What has transpired? I'm trying to basically build a cart with junk parts that I have laying around. And of course, when you work with junk, you end up with headaches. I have everything I need for the back seat with the exception of, and we talked about it a little bit earlier, these uprights that go in here. I thought this was it, and these are actually too short by about, I don't know, 2 inches probably. So I've got some steel laying around. I can make my own. I'll probably get this wiring out of the way. Sorry. What I'll probably do is extend that one out and weld those two together like so. And then I'll make another one. I didn't have a long enough piece to make 2, unfortunately. This is quite a bit thicker material than what comes on the seat. I don't know if you can tell that or not, probably. So I don't have a way to bend that, but what I can do is I can cut and I can, butt weld a little corner piece on there to match that. I think it's got to be 16.5 or 16 3/4 from the base to the top. And the only reason I know that is because I have another cart outside with the same or similar seat kit. So I found these L brackets. Thankfully, I have the uprights for the roof. This is a little bit of a mess. I thought about just painting the whole thing. I think I'm going to take the plastic off. Still undecided on that. Kind of clean up the framework and paint that. But here's our biggest challenge. This footrest that I had, I don't even know if it's for this seat kit. It might have been off a TXT or something. I took it outside with the retina checker, the wire wheel, and look at what I got going on here. So not only do we have a lot of rust to contend with, we have to basically, see if this is even going to work on here. I do have some candy cane struts that I'm not using. That was, I think, from a TXT project. What I'm thinking about doing is basically cutting this old rusty part out from here, come in on this side, I don't think there's much holding it here. I think it's mainly on the back side where it's tacked. And I would take a chunk of this. This stuff is so thin, it kind of makes me nervous. But I would take a chunk and just make a new section in here. I think that's the best way to do it. The rest of it's pretty solid. I did go online and look just to see if there was any parts available, like where you could buy just that seat bottom. There probably is, but in the scouring that I did, I didn't find any. But just kind of eyeballing this, you know, I think I've got enough parts and pieces we can make sense of this, other than the little bit I have to repair and the little bit that I have to build. I do have the hoop that goes around. I have both seats. I have the uprights for the roof, so why not use this up? You know, a new seat kit's not getting any cheaper. I think they're $400-ish. You can buy some cheaper ones out there that I've used that I'm not real happy with. So that's that dilemma. The other thing we've got going on is the wiring. I've got my tail light hanging here. Those are brand new tail lights. And thankfully those are going to cover a big chunk of those scratches like I was telling you about. So once that's all bolted up there, that's going to fill that in nice. But here's what I've got for wiring, which is fine. This I ordered new headlights for because I actually blew the headlights out of that, forgetting that I didn't have a 48 volt converter, or I don't know what happened. But anyway, the headlights were blown. I ordered new headlight bulbs. This is our tail lights, which have been cut, which is fine because we can just butt connector those tail lights in, and then our positive and negative is here. So if I'm making any sense, that end is going to plug into our headlight kit up under the dash. We'll run this back. That's for the brake lights, which we're probably not going to hook up like I never do. And then right and left on the tail lights, and I'll just hardwire those in instead of having a quick connector on it. Again, just parts I've got laying around, so hopefully this can all come together and make sense. I'm trying to decide what to do next, if I throw this headlight kit in, or do I tackle this hard part of... And I love fabrication work, I do. I'm really under time constraints always, and that's really time consuming, so I'm just trying to make the best decision I can here. All right, let me do some figuring and I'll get back with you. All right, so I just kind of got this mocked up on here. I can see already that this must be a footrest from a TXT because it's not back far enough. If I use the original holes, you can see it's way too far in, and then what happens is our upright, you know, where it bolts in here is too far back. So that's an easy fix. I just kind of wanted to make sure everything was going to work before I stuck a bunch of time into repairing that rust. I'm going to hold off on the headlights and stuff for now because that can always be done later. I really want to tackle this back seat kit and kind of get it assembled. At least it'll look like something again versus, you know, just doing the headlights. And anyway, I'm rambling, but that's why I decided to do this first. So I'm going to pull this back apart. I just kind of got it, like I said, just sitting on there. We'll get it up on here, start grinding and fabbing on it, and see if we can make something work. I was going to line up the holes and make everything just perfect, but I think I'm just going to weld in that new piece and then just punch my hole where I need it. That's going to be a lot easier. So let's get to work. I'm thinking I can just cut this with the Sawzall. Might be easier than trying to get in with the grinder. Then I can cut my welds with the cutoff wheel and peel that chunk out of there. That's what I'm hoping anyway. All right, there we go. We got that old crusty piece out of there. I think it was actually something like that. And we'll cut us a nice chunk out of this spare piece. This stuff is so thin, I'm worried about welding it. I do have some square tube upstairs, but I think it's the wrong size. But anyway, we'll make this work. We'll get our piece cut and then tack it just like they did. It actually wasn't welded on this side at all, thankfully. So, okay, I've got things cleaned up so that I'm happy with it. And, you know, this isn't going to be the best job we can do, but it's going to be good enough. How's that? So I'll do some tacking in here just to kind of get it held, and then I want to flip it over because the top side is what you're going to see the most of anyway, and that's, you know, what's more important. I got to clean a little more paint off of this edge so that I can get a couple tacks in there. The hard part is going to be not burning through this old rusty metal, so it'll be a challenge to get the welder set up just right, but hopefully we can make sense of it. Well, I decided to grind my welds off before I brought you in and showed you. It was so thin, even on the lowest setting. I was just burning right through this rusty stuff. But we get some MRO on here, and you're not even going to be able to tell. It's definitely better than what it was. You can see the problem I was running into, just burning through that rusty, thin stuff. But got it. You know, this is all going to be underneath here, so you won't see that. I could fill in a couple of these pinholes yet, but we'll just gob some paint in there and call it good. So on the other side, I'm just going to repeat the process. I probably won't film that, but you get the idea of what we're going for here. And then I just got to build those two upright brackets and then basically get everything prepped for paint. So I'll get back with you in a little while. All right, got our new pieces in. Pretty happy with it. A couple of pinholes here I think I got to touch up yet. I wasn't going to mess with them, but now I think I am. I was all excited that I was just about done, and then I don't know how I missed it. This corner is absolutely full of pinholes, and I thought, you dummy, you had that candy cane strut you were using. You could have just done the whole corner. Well, then I felt better when I realized the bend isn't the same, so that made me feel a little better, but I'm just going to have to try to tack these in and grind over them as best I can. It's going to want to just burn through instantly, but I had a spot over here that I was able to do it. So I'm hoping I can get this one touched up. If not, we'll have to figure something else out, but that's the plan at the moment. Well, it isn't pretty, but it's going to have to work. I had this in and out. I'm outside, obviously. See that pinhole right there? If I take that back inside and hit that with the welder, it just blows a hole in there about the size of a pencil eraser. So I wanted to get this nice and smooth before I painted it, but the more I grind on it, the more holes appear. So if we had a little Bondo, we could smear over that. It would be perfect. But you know what? This is going to have to be good enough. I'm going to hit this with the flat black and probably gob it in there pretty thick and hide some of those bad spots. And hopefully the end result will be better than it was. I've got everything out here drying. It's not super warm today, but it looks like the MRO isn't having any problem even being a little bit cold out, so that should be just fine. Over on the table there, you can probably see I made that one upright that I needed for the back, and then I painted the other one up and welded that. Well, I think that's as far as we're going to get today. The shop's a mess. The day is getting away from me, like I said, and we're just going to have to wrap it up here. But stick around for the next episode, and we're going to put all the pieces together, and I'll give you a total breakdown of cost of everything, so you too can see just how much money you can make flipping golf carts if that's your desire, or if you just want to fix one up for yourself. So please hit the subscribe button if you've watched the video to this point. I thank you very much. Please subscribe if you haven't, and hit the like button. You have no idea how much that helps me. I appreciate that. And comment if you'd like. I always look forward to reading your comments. We'll see you next time on Kart Crazy.